I'm going to record this lecture. So students, we were studying actually what resonance yesterday, and we studied the applications of the resonance yesterday, right? So today we are going to see that how is resonance harmful for us, or the disadvantages of the resonance, right? So let's talk about a car passing over a speed breaker or a depression. Then what's going to happen? Shahmir Khan is a new student. Well, let me talk to him. Yes, Shahmir, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Who is this Shahmir? I don't remember.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Huh? The same Shahmir from Westminster?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Acha, 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 acha. I recognized you from your sound. Okay, Shamir. So, Shamir, we have actually done 3 chapters. You are a little late.
Yeah, my internet's just been very bad lately, so I couldn't really do much about it.
Okay, so the thing is, today we are going to complete the 3rd chapter. And from one day onward, we are going to start the next portion. And you don't have to worry about the next portion because that has nothing to do with the previous one. Like the first 3 chapters are about further mechanics, all of them. And then there are next 2 chapters which are electrostatics. So they have nothing to do with the further mechanics, right?
Yeah, all right.
So I don't think you will be like understanding today's lecture because it's the last lecture of the chapter. But from Monday, you'll be understanding it, right?
Okay.
So good. Ji. Okay, students. So in the moving car, engine suspension of the car is the free oscillator. Free oscillator means its frequency is not changing. Its frequency is natural frequency, which I told you yesterday, right? While when this car moves over a bump, okay, we feel a jerk when we pass over a bump or depression. An external oscillation of some specific frequency is generated, which is called basically the forced oscillation, right? With frequency of forced oscillation. Okay, so if the frequency of forced oscillation becomes equal to the natural frequency of free oscillation, then what happens, students?
Resonance.
Resonance occurs, right? And the amplitude of the resultant oscillation increases. And sometimes it happens when we are moving our car and we just forget to, slow down, and we just pass over the bump or the speed breaker with very high speed, and a scary sound comes out of the suspension of the car, and we feel that something is broken, right? So this is because of that resonance. Okay, next example is like in a washing machine or juicer machine, metal panels on the machinery are basically free oscillators, right? With the natural frequency. And while the motor machine is basically forced oscillator with frequency of forced oscillation. And students, if these frequencies match and motor touches the metal panels, then what happens? Resonance occurs and it will definitely destroy the machinery, right? Okay, now let's talk about the damping. Students, I told you last time, okay, what is a free oscillation or undamped oscillation in which the amplitude what?
Constant.
Amplitude does not change. Very good. It remains same. So energy is not lost, right? And what if the energy is lost? We call it damped oscillation. What oscillation? Damped oscillation. Right, students? So we call it damped oscillation, right? Because the amplitude changes, it decreases basically. So what is damping then? It is the process by which an oscillating system loses energy, right? In communication, we call this the same thing attenuation, but here we call it what? Damping. What? Damping. Right, students? Okay, Ji. So one minute, students. Okay, Ali Shoaib, I have sent you the video, the recorded video of yesterday lecture.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Samir, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. So students, one more thing is damping is a non-linear phenomena. Non-linear phenomena means, let's say if this was the first oscillation peak and this was the second oscillation, and this change in amplitude, let's say this change in amplitude was, let's say, 4 centimeters. Then next time the change in amplitude is not going to be 4 centimeters. It is going to be, let's say, 3 centimeters. And next time the change in amplitude is not going to be 3, it is going to be different. Like it could be 1.5. And next time it could be like 0.5 and so on. So there is no, uniform change or decrease in the amplitude. It means damping is a what phenomena? Non-linear phenomena. And non-linear phenomena means the change in the amplitude is not same, right? So meaning is if the amplitude decreases by, let's say, 2 centimeter in the first oscillation, then it doesn't mean that the amplitude will decrease by further 2 centimeter in second oscillation. It could be different. It could be 1.5, it could be 1.2, it could be 1.1 or 1.7 or anything else, right? Because the damping is a non-linear phenomenon, right, students? Okay. So here is the question. They say a tube closed at one end has a uniform area of cross section. The tube contains some of the sand so that the tube floats upright in the liquid. When the tube is at rest, the dimension D is this. The variation is shown, right? And the question is, okay, yes. ये क्वेश्चन आप खुद कर सकते हैं, मैं नेक्स्ट पे चलता हूँ. ओके, ये बहुत आसान क्वेश्चन था. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, टाइप्स ऑफ डैम्पिंग. The first one is undamped. Undamped means energy is lost or not lost?
Not lost.
Not lost. Very good. So when there is no energy loss, so the amplitude will be looking like this. Like it will be remaining what? Constant. It will be remaining constant. Right, students? Okay. And It means कि if we talk about कि no energy loss is there, so we'll be saying कि the system is definitely frictionless and it is also in vacuum. Vacuum means there is no air as well. So there is no type of friction available, so there is no energy loss. And if, let's say, if this was vacuum, and now we compare it with air, then what do you think, students?
Air resistance.
There will
Damping.
be air resistance, so there will be some energy loss, right? So we'll be calling it light damping. What? Light damping, right? Okay. So light damping is like this, okay, when the amplitude decreases very slowly. So students, very slow decrease in the amplitude, right? So the air resistance decreases, so energy of amplitude also decreases, but very slowly, and it is called light damping. And if we students, uh, connect some feathers with the vibrating object, then the surface area what?
Increases.
Increases. So what happens to the air resistance then?
Increases.
It will also increase. So students, we call it heavy damping. Right, students? So the amplitude decreases quickly, like this, and this, and this, and this, right? So this is called heavy damping, right, students? Okay, now let's talk about like vibrating our object in water. And water is a denser medium. So what do you think about the drag force? Now drag force will be like more than air or less than air?
More than air.
So yes, very good. So the energy will be lost instantaneously. So what do we call it? Students, we call it critical damping, right? So when there was no friction, undamped, when there was only air friction, light damping, when there were feathers connected, it was heavy damping, and when we vibrate it in liquid, it is critical damping. Now let us see how the critical damping is going to look like. Students, critical damping is going to look like this. Okay, the oscillation starts and it instantaneously comes to zero. So this is critical damping, right, students? And what if we talk about like vibrating our object in thick oil? Then what's going to happen? Yes, students.
Over damping.
The amplitude will be decreasing, but will it be slower or quicker?
Quicker decrease.
Quicker decrease? Yeah, you are right. But the thing is, the object will be coming to rest quickly.
Faster.
No.
Yeah, quickly.
Quickly?
And the object will come to rest quickly.
No. It will come to rest slowly. Why? Because when it will be coming to the mean position or central position, the liquid will be applying so much force because of being thick oil that it is going to retard it, slow it down. So the energy is going to be lost like this. Have a look at it. Like previously, the energy was quick. This was like quick damping, right? Here, it's gonna be damped, but it is gonna be very slow damping. So we'll be calling it over damping. What damping? Over damping.
Over damping.
Object will be getting slowed down, right? Okay, now let's talk about resonance and damping. Like when we talked about resonance curve, it was looking like this. Like students, the curve was like this. Here. Okay, so this was basically undamped situation. What if I talk about, like this is A max. What if I talk about light damping? The A max will increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Decrease, very good. The A max is gonna decrease, like it's gonna be looking now like this. So this is like light damping. Right, students? And what about heavy damping? The A max will be further decreasing or remain same?
Further decreasing.
Further decreasing. Okay, now resonant frequency remains same, F. But in case of heavy damping, students, what happens? The resonant frequency also decreases to some extent. Like this is heavy damping. And you must know, because of this energy loss, this frequency also shifts left. So this becomes F1. So F1 is less than F. It means in heavy damping, what happens? Resonant frequency also decreases, right? And what about in the case of critical damping? Students, in case of critical damping, the A max will be like decreasing, but the resonant frequency will also be decreasing significantly. So students, this is like critical damping. And resonant frequency significantly decreases. Right? So this is all about resonance. So you can see as the damping increases, the curve is becoming flatter or sharper?
Flatter.
Flatter, very good. So as damping increases, curve becomes flatter, right? Sharpness decreases. Okay. So here it is, K, larger the damping, smaller the maximum amplitude, so flatter the resonance curve, right? Damping in daily life situations, it could be useful or harmful. Let's first talk about harmful damping. Like in every routine oscillation system, we don't want the energy to be lost, but it is lost eventually. Like damping is not required, so it is harmful. Like in a pendulum, we don't want the pendulum to stop, but it stops anyways, right? The clock is not wanted to stop, but due to damping, energy loss, it ultimately stops, right? Okay, now let's talk about the useful damping. First is like shock absorbing system. Have you ever, students, listen about the shock absorbers? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, shock absorbers. They are like used in vehicles, bikes and cars and Jeeps, SUVs, right? So what happens? We have a cylinder, right? let's say we have a cylinder like this, and then we have a spring which is connected to a mass, and so that mass is like immersed in what? It is immersed in thick liquid. So if it is immersed in thick liquid, there will be critical damping or heavy damping?
Critical.
Critical damping. So its critical damping occurs, using a mass spring system oscillating in a liquid that is called shock absorber, which can be used to decrease the maximum amplitude caused by the resonance in a car suspension system, thus saving it from damage, right? And similar is the case in machinery parts. We have like the same shock absorbers, right, students? So let's talk about this question now. Okay, read it and tell me the answer. Yes, everyone. Yes. Yes, students.
Sir, first part का तो resonance है ना?
First part का क्या आ गया? Resonance, because this is the phenomena that is shown as resonance, right? Okay, first part का तो आ गया हमारे पास resonance. Okay, next मुझे आंसर करेंगे Shahan. जी Shahan, for the maximum amplitude of vibration, what is the amplitude? जी Shahan, read करें और बताइए.
11.
11? Shahan से मैंने पूछा है. आरेज बोले. शाहान नहीं है क्लास में? शाहान है ना? Where is शाहान? लगता है कहीं.
Yes, sir.
जी शाहान, क्या आंसर है इसका? Yes, शाहान.
Sir, I'm here. Sir, I said 11.
What? Okay, Tayyib. What's the amplitude?
Say 11.
11? यार मैक्सिमम एम्पलीट्यूड की बात हो रही है. ये 11 है बच्चे?
16.
16 है ना?
सर 5 से स्टार्ट नहीं हो रहा सर.
5 से स्टार्ट हो रहा है क्या मतलब? वो तो एम्पलीट्यूड कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा ही ना, स्टार्ट जहां से मर्जी हो.
Exactly. Oh, I get it sir, I get it.
So it is 16 millimeters. ये वेव नहीं है बच्चे, ये रेजोनेंस का ग्राफ है. ओके, अब आरएस बताएं फ्रीक्वेंसी कितनी है, रेजोनेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी?
Sir, 4.8.
4.8. Let me see. ये
6 या 8 होगी सर.
2 3 4.6 बन रही है. कितनी बन रही है?
4.6.
4.6 हर्ट्ज. ठीक है जी. अच्छा जी, नेक्स्ट वो कहते हैं कि मेटल क्यूब है 150 ग्राम्स का, और कहते हैं लाइट फेदर्स उसको लगा देते हैं. तो आप ड्रॉ करें लाइन, दोबारा से रेजोनेंस कर्व ड्रॉ करें, तो क्या होगा? लाइट फेदर्स में क्या होगा? लाइट डैम्पिंग होगी या हैवी डैम्पिंग होगी?
Right.
हाँ,
Light damping. Light damp.
लाइट डैम्पिंग तो एयर में होती है, पैदल लगा दें तो हैवी डैम्पिंग होती है।
अच्छा, अच्छा।
आपका ग्राफ कैसे होगा? फ्रीक्वेंसी थोड़ी सी चेंज होगी, ठीक है, एम्पलीट्यूड भी चेंज हो जाएगा काफी सारा। तो ये आप ग्राफ ड्रॉ कर देंगे, ठीक है। तो फ्रीक्वेंसी अब जो है वो हमारी आ रही है कोई 4.2 के करीब आ रही है, ठीक है। एम्पलीट्यूड भी हमारा क्या हो गया? कम हो गया, राइट। अच्छा जी, आगे चलते हैं। Yes, a long string of springy steel. Basically, students, the chapter is finished. Now we are just doing some questions to practice, right? And on Monday, we are going to start electrostatics. And I will also be taking some tests. So just get prepared about this chapter oscillations, because Monday is the test day for oscillations as well. So right after the class, you will be given the test that you'll be taking and then submitting it to me. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students. So a long strip of springy steel is clamped at one end. The mass is 65 grams. Who has left? Ares has left. Is attached to the free end of the strip as shown. Okay. So students, the mass is pulled to one side and then released. The variation of the time t of the horizontal spring, horizontal displacement is shown. First question is, what is meant by damping? Yes.
A gradual decrease in amplitude due to the loss of energy.
Yes. Loss of energy
Due to a resistive force.
from oscillating system. Yes, you are right. Due to resistive force. Okay. Okay. Next is, suggest with the reason whether the damping is light, critical, or heavy. Yes, have a look at it. Is it light, critical, or heavy?
Light.
Light.
Light damping, because the amplitude is decreasing too slowly, right? So we'll be saying amplitude decreases very slowly, so light damping. Right, students? Next, determine the frequency of the vibration of mass. Yes, students, how can you calculate the frequency?
1 hour time period.
1 hour 0.3, very good. So time period is 0.3.
3.3 hertz.
1 over 0.3, that is 3.3 hertz, right? Okay, hence show that the initial energy stored in the spring is this, itne millijoules. Ye kaun batayega? Yes.
So ये spring की है तो half k square.
Half Ka square. Half Ka square. What is K?
K is m omega square.
M omega square, very good. And what was mass? 65 grams. What is omega? 2 into pi into F is 3.3 whole square into what was A? A is what, students? It is 1.5 centimeters. So 1.5 over 100 square. So students, you can calculate it and show it to be equal to 3.2 millijoules. Do it and tell me, is it 3.2 millijoules? Yes, students.
Sir, मेरा 3.1 आ
3.1. Let me do it. जी और कोई कर रहा है? Approximately 3.2 ठीक है 3.14 आ रहा है After 8 oscillations ये जी बड़ा important बात आ गई है After 8 oscillations the amplitude of vibration is reduced from 1.5 to 1.1 like how much is the decrease 0.6 right Still explain whether after the further 8 complete oscillations will it be like sorry 0.6 का decrease नहीं है
0.4
0.4 का decrease है right So state and explain after further 8 complete oscillations will the amplitude be 0.7 like it will be further 0.4 or not like first is
No, sir, क्योंकि
1.5 minus 0.4 that was 1.1 now will it be 1.1 minus 0.4 equals to 0.7 again or not
No, sir.
no why
Sir, because ये constant तो decrease नहीं होगा ना, sir.
Yes, that's the thing I told you as the first part of the lecture today. That is damping is a non-linear phenomena, right? So this is what you have to write for 2 marks. Like you will be writing here that damping is a non-linear phenomena. So not 0.7. Right, students? So remaining question you can do yourself. So we are done with the chapter, students. And I'm gonna stop sharing, stop recording, and I'm gonna say goodbye. Right, students?